If you're listening in Tampa Bay, thank you. If you're streaming on theboneonline.com, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube at Let's Get Real Radio Show, because not only do you get segments from the show that you might have missed, but Spanish and I do things like we're going to do after the show. We're going to run to the pet store because I got to get food for my dog, and we're going to create some content in the truck.
Perfect. I love it.
As much as people are like, that's not safe.
Yeah, well, life isn't safe, so whatever. Yeah.
It's time to take action. 1-800-771-1025. Kyle, I'm going to jump to you because apparently you feel that way, is that it's time to take action, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Shark? What's going on, Spanish?
How you doing, Kyle?
Pretty good. Hey, happy belated birthday. I'm March of 87, so we're good people.
All right, thanks, man. Hell yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So anyways, what I'm calling about is to try to be on a positive note. Is last year my dad was diagnosed with a brain tumor, but one of the best words of advice that he's given me is I've got to stop with the I can do it next year mentality. And so, just what I've been doing on my Saturdays is I do a lot of gardening, so I have a plant sale out front, and it's a good way to spend my Saturday, and I get to talk to people about plants, so
nice.
It's been good.
Nice. I bet you love that, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I even, started a website and all of that, so maybe someday I can grow it into the full-time business.
All right, so Kyle, let's do this. First of all, I got to ask the question, is your dad still with us or did he pass?
Yeah, he's still with us. He had Moffitt is really good. We've been going to Moffitt. And he had 2 surgeries on, his brain to get the tumor out. Yep. And he had to get a second bout of radiation. So that's kind of this past week. He's been a little wiped out from that. But, the health and just like the treatment that he got through Moffitt for, up until about 2 months ago,
right.
He was up walking around doing stuff. We could, go on walks with the dog. So cool. I've just been very blessed because when he first got diagnosed, we thought it was going to be, we'd lose him in a month or so. So yeah, and a lot of healing has gone on. When I was younger, of course, my dad and I butted heads all the time, but getting to know each other more as people, it's been very healing,
Well, we talked a couple of weekends ago around how death brings people together, and in the same way, the sort of the teasing of death, if you will. But I want to come back to you, Kyle, making the most of now. The time is now to take action. So we're celebrating wins today, man. So you literally said, "Hey, I'm gonna live my life. I love plants." And I'm going to sell plants in front of my house. All right. So what neighborhood are you in? Where are you in the Bay Area?
Well, I'm down in Punta Gorda. I listen to you guys through the app and been, listening for a long time. Mm-hmm. But I'm down in Punta Gorda. If people want to Google me, it's, can I plug my website?
That's why we're here, my friend.
Sweet. It's Koala Plant and Seed. Koala the bear. That's one of my nicknames. And nice. Plant and Seed, and I'll pop up. And you can, if you're interested in any plants or anything like that, you can contact me through the website and I'll respond.
Well, why I want to give you the space to promote your website there is because you, faced with your father's death, said, "Hey, I got to take some time," and you followed a passion. Apparently, you're into plants. That's friggin' awesome. Half my plants are not making it, so I wish I was more. But anyway, man, I think that's awesome, man. I think celebrate you for making the most of life, and my best wishes for you and your family and your dad. And he has more walks in the future, and you guys have a lot of time together.
Yeah, I hope so. We got him a life jacket and stuff to try to get him in the swimming pool a little bit. So hopefully. Nice. Yeah, and Spanish, we do follow each other on Instagram, so you can check out my Instagram as well.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. I love you, Kyle. And don't worry, that's not real, but we can get into that later.
We'll get into that later. So
no, I really appreciated you when you do a lot, are talking a lot about that, because it does help me with it, and try to, because I have a lot of faith. And so, to build more of a relationship with, how I know God and understanding that it's not like I'm going to die and that's the end of it,
right.
but it's going to go on. Yeah. So that's really cool, man.
So Kyle, do us a favor if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe to our YouTube, because a lot of times Spanish and I will get off on these tangents and we'll record it and we'll just throw it up on our YouTube if we don't get to it here, because we're only here for 2 hours a week. So subscribe to YouTube.
This is actually one of the first days that I set my alarm to make sure I heard the whole show.
Thank you. Thank you, Kyle. Hey, man, we're going to jump, but listen, man, have a wonderful Saturday.
What was the YouTube one more time?
At Let's Get Real Radio Show. So just exactly what
Sounds
we are.
good.
Let's Get Real Radio Show on YouTube. Just search it, hit subscribe, and yeah, so a lot of the good death and God and all that content's up there as well.
All righty. Well, I'll go subscribe, and thanks for taking my call, guys.
Love you, Kyle.
Have a good weekend, Kyle.
Love you both. Yes.
And you thought the death stuff wasn't going to be good.
No, I know the death stuff is good. The death stuff is good.
Death stuff's great.
Death stuff is great. Like we had the light and spirited conversation a couple weekends ago about death.
I love that you call it light and spirited.
It is light and spirited.
It was good, yeah.
I think Kyle though brings up like, hey man, you just got to make the most of
of our time. Yeah, even though we believe time's not real, but you do got to make the most of this meat sack.
Why are you always going to take it?
Because I like to remind you.
No, but you
right.
got to make the most of this particular moment in time.
For sure.
The present moment. You got to make the most of what's happening right now. Time is not real, but you got to make the most of right now. And sometimes it takes our dads getting brain tumors for us to have that. And this was a conversation we talked about when we had that, but the secret then exists to make the most of time without having a life-changing event rattle you in that space. 1-800-771-1025. Just celebrating some wins, keeping it positive, also giving support where you need it. But you know what I mean? Like how can you, and I got to be honest, I think celebrating wins on a regular basis allows you a perspective to be able to have moments of taking action in an intentional way.
Ooh,
so you don't have to wait for like somebody to die around you.
I like that, taking action in an intentional way.
I should probably write that down.
Yeah, that was good.
Sometimes I say things.
That was really good, because that's the truth. Is you're right. It's taking action in an intentional way in the present moment will definitely keep you in a gratitude state.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just writing that down.
Yeah, I did too. That was good. I still do pen and paper though. I'm old like that.
Well, I
got my journal over here.
No, it's totally good. I journaled this morning. I do have moments sometimes where I'm just like, I'll be talking to a client or something. I'll just say something, and I'm like, man, that was good.
That was good.
And my clients don't know what to say. They're like, did you just comment on your own words? I'm like, I did. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
That was really good.
Allow me a moment to high five myself.
There we go. So we're celebrating Wednesday because it's super, super important. One story that I, and our phone number, 1-800-771-1025, a few months ago, my son, Gavin, who's a software developer, called me up. And we had this, not just a father-son relationship, but I know enough about software development to be dangerous.
Oh.
But I know enough to carry on a conversation. I'm not the guy that ejected the thumb drive too soon and wiped out airlines and banks and credit cards yesterday.
Oh, man, that guy's having a rough day.
That guy's having a rough day. The new dude at CrowdStrike's having a bad day.
Woo.
But I was having this conversation with him, and he was basically just saying all the stuff about all that was happening with the development he was doing and the app they're building and all this stuff. And I said, have you celebrated any wins lately? And he was like, I don't have, he's kind of crotchety. For a 23-year-old, he's very crotchety.
Wonder who he gets it from.
Yeah. He's like, I don't have time to celebrate these wins. What are you talking about? I got to write code. And I'm like, stop. And I was just like, stop. Just stop. And he's like, what? I'm like, what happened last week that was good? Well, we figured out this one process, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, was it good? He's like, well, yeah, because it helped this one thing. I was like, what else did it do? Well, it shortcut this. And I was watching him change.
Yeah.
Just like you in the last break. You were just like, yeah, man, this is actually kind of good.
Yeah.
And it was this interesting thing where he went from like the dark to the light in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Only because he figured out the one thing in the last week that actually was good versus over-indexing on all the things that were bad.
Yeah. It's often the little things that we overlook that help the most.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, thank you. I do feel much better.
Right.
Because I was having a little bit of one of those weeks where, just as the week went on, I was like, man, what is going on with some of this stuff in my life?
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. It's all these little things that I forget about to be grateful for, like those moments of taking back control of my inner monologue.
Oh, yeah. And, dude, I got to say again, taking control of your inner monologue is like, it's not a little win.
It didn't feel like
That's a Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah, it felt pretty good because normally, as I've told you before at our therapy sessions at Grassroots, my inner monologue can really strong arm me sometimes.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's definitely true with all of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's a huge win to be able to do that because it takes a lot to be able to go, shut up, inner monologue. I hear you loud and clear, but I choose to do something different in this moment.
Yeah.
And we humans, and my son is a good example because he's overly crotchety. I can say this because he doesn't listen to the show. My daughter's listening right now. Thank you, Adelaide.
Thank you very much.
But my son never listens.
He's got to write his code.
He's got to write code. Okay.
Yeah. But you're right about taking action with intention because that's exactly what I did in that moment. I was like, I'm taking action with intention to just being like, shh.
Yeah.
It's my time now.
All right, so let's go to the phones, 1-800-771-1025, somebody who claims not to be Tony, but you got some wins for the week, not Tony. What's up, my friend? Welcome to Let's Get Real.
Hey, what's up, Spanish? What's up, guy? How you doing, man?
Good.
Sorry, I forgot your name, bro.
It's Shark, Michael, whatever.
Hey, what's up, dude? Yo, I want to celebrate my wins, man. I actually called you guys 2 months ago.
I recognize your voice.
On the alcohol.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's 2 months, bro.
2 months sober?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
California sober.
Yeah, it counts. It counts.
That's awesome.
It counts, bro. Yeah, man. Thank you, guys.
Hey, man, I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate you. Congratulations, man. 2 months sober is a huge deal, and let's keep celebrating, man. Just remember to take action, celebrate. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Not Tony, man. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you,
calling.
man. And you know what, bro? It took a massive set on me to even call 2 months ago because I was down and out. And I'm glad that you guys are there for us, and if it helps somebody, even better, man.
Thank you,
Somebody
man.
else,
Thank you. I really appreciate you I appreciate you sharing yourself, but also saying that as well as support and courage to other people. So listen, man, have a great.
Yeah, man. Everybody grab your set and call in, bro.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Later, y'all.
See you, man. Have a good weekend.
Love you.
Have a good weekend. 1-800-771-1025. That's why I say, man, he didn't know exactly what he didn't know. I remember when he called.
Yeah.
And that's why I will say oftentimes that if we look literally at the nucleus and the core of the show, it is to give guys a place to figure out whatever it is they need to figure out. Because it's not like you call up and go, hey, I have completely figured out this one thing. So will you help me with this? It's just not how it works.
Yeah. And some of those calls are tough because you can hear in their voice that they feel hopeless.
Yep.
And it's just like, just keep talking, man. Just talk for a little bit longer because we're right at the cusp of helping figure this thing out.
Yeah, that's been an observation I've made in the 2 months of doing this show of those moments of that.
Yeah.
Guys that are just like, I'm right there.
Yeah.
I gotta figure it out. Maybe it's a girlfriend, maybe it's the bottle, maybe it's my job. But if I just keep talking,
Yeah.
if I just
right there.
I'm right there, give yourself a place to process. And as you process, you figure it out. 1-800-771-1025. If you haven't picked it up right now, we will support you if you're working through some stuff, obviously. But we want to impress upon you the importance of celebrating some wins. Those wins can look like anything. They can look like getting over some mindset stuff, stopping yourself in the middle and stopping your mind chatter, your monkey mind in its tracks.
Yeah.
Or it can look like something practical, like you figured something out this week with work or you got paid or whatever that looks like. If whatever you're going through, however, is a little more personal, I want to invite you. Spanish and I offer free one-to-one clarity calls. And let me just say that these are free. These do not cost you anything. What these clarity calls are about is if whatever you're going through requires, as I said, just something where you're like, hey, man, I want to talk it through. I'm ready to talk it through, but I just don't want to do it on the radio. I get it. I want you to go to my website, sharkyhelp.com. It's actually not even a website. It's just a landing page where you can put in your name and email. Whenever you do that, thank you, because you're joining a community of guys figuring all our stuff out. But then you're going to be prompted with an invite to schedule one of these calls. And whenever and look, you can go to the website, enter your name and email. You're going to get a lot of cool stuff. We won't spam you. But you will have an opportunity to jump on a call. And so far, those calls have been really, really good. Having some good conversations with members in the community who need to figure things out and who just would rather do it in a more quiet, more personal, private space. So sharkyhelp.com. you'll either get Spanish or you'll get me or you'll get both of us.
Ooh.
And if you get both of us, I'm sorry. Because we're just going to drop all sorts of stuff on you.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
It's going to be a lot. 30 minutes, you're going to be like, oh, man, I think I just saw God. So sharkyhelp.com, enter your name, enter your email, and sign up for one of those calls. Again, our phone number, 1-800-771-1025. Today, we are celebrating wins on Let's Get Real on 102.5 The Bone.